Hey, this is Peter. Today I will show you what absolute positioning is about. Let's start off by understanding what absolute positioning is. With absolute positioning, you can move layers anywhere within the slide. You can resize them and even put them on top of each other. There are specific designs where it can be useful. For example, when you want your layers to overlap each other. Instead of using a single image as a background, you can use layers to animate them. But don't forget that columns have background image options too, so you won't need absolute position for every design where you want an image behind your layers. You are probably asking yourself, why wouldn't you use absolute positioning for everything when it seems so easy to position layers with it? The main problem with absolute positioning is that it is really hard to make it responsive. With absolute positioning, you have to work with the space you have as everything just floats. Default positioning is better for the content. When you work with default positioned layers, the height of your slide is based on the height the layers need, and the margins and paddings they have. But absolute positioning is fine for decorative design elements. Let's take a look at what options you have with it. To add the layer with absolute positioning, use the default absolute switcher on the bottom of the Add panel. As you can see, absolute layers are marked with purple border. Absolute layers have alignment points which you can find on the Style tab of the Layer window. These points appear on the canvas too. They define the point of the parent where the layer is positioned from. For example, now the layer is positioned from the left, meaning it will keep the distance from the left. If I position the layer from the center, it won't move away, as it is in the center already. If you would like to align two layers to each other, then setting an alignment won't always give you the perfect result. In this case, you can get a better result by linking your absolute layer to the other layer. I want to create a layout where the girl is sitting on the top of the laptop. I'll add an absolute image and put it into the right column. This way the positioning will happen from the column. If I move this image into the specific placement and take a look at the mobile view, I can see that this positioning won't work for me. The laptop image is in default position, which moves differently than how absolutely positioned layers do. To resolve this problem, I shouldn't position the girl to the column, but to the laptop image instead. I can do this with the Linked To option. First, you should pick a parent from layers which are on the same level as the current layer. Then select the alignment point on this parent where the image will be aligned from. Lastly, pick the alignment point on the layer, which will be aligned to the parent. Now, on mobile view, she is still sitting on the laptop. Absolute layers have device-specific options to improve their responsive behavior. Let's take a look at them. On my slide, I have 3 small images in absolute position. If I switch to mobile view, they won't look nice, because in absolute positioning, everything goes smaller with the ratio of the slider. Select one of the absolutely positioned layers and go to the Style tab to the Position section. The settings which are marked with small device icons can be edited device-specifically. You can resize your layers, move them, or even select a different alignment point if you want to. This way, you can create a better layout on mobile and tablet views. Another option is to turn off the responsive behavior of the layer. As I've told you before, in absolute position, the pixel sizes are based on the slider size ratio. So this layer currently has about 1/4 of its original size. If I turn the responsive settings off, the layer will have its original width on every device view. At the responsive option of the position, the same thing happens. The layer isn't as far from the center point as these numbers indicated. Now the layer isn't visible on the slide because it's positioned too far from the center. I'll just reduce the distance to make the layer come back to the slide. This is everything about absolute positioning. I hope you will manage to use it for decoration while keeping your content in default position. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.